for my ally is the Force.
In a galaxy far, far away, there lives the Disney and Pixar franchises that just can't seem to shy away from the Star Wars universe. Whether it's Lightyear, Toy Story, or even Nemo, Star Wars references and Easter eggs are hidden all across the studio's productions.
Don't get technical with me.
Number 1. Resembles Geonosis. If there's one thing Lightyear has proved, it's that the world outside of Andy's bedroom is vast, especially in terms of animation and how much further Pixar took the film. But of course, they couldn't have designed Lightyear's space station without drawing some inspiration from somewhere. And we're betting creators took inspiration from Geonosis, the planet in Attack of the Clones. Both settings have the same red soil, a vast look, and even have similarly shaped buildings.
Very good. Very good.
Number 2. Is it coaxium? In Lightyear, Buzz uses a special crystal to power his entire spaceship. In Han Solo's recent film Solo, a Star Wars story, we were introduced to coaxium, which is an extremely powerful hyperfuel used to power ships. Not only are the two elements similar in what they do, but they look identical as well, right down to the way they're cased.
It's magnificent.
Number 3. Similar to BB-8. Who wouldn't want a droid following you around and helping you out when you need it? Many helpful droids are a staple for Star Wars. We have BB-8, R2-D2, the list goes on. Lightyear just couldn't stay away from adding in that similarity. In this scene, Buzz has a robot companion as well, and the imagery created between him and the droid is more than just similar to multiple Star Wars scenes.
Good night, Socks.
Good night, Buzz.
Number 4. Just like Star Wars. Hyperspeed and hyperspace is something that's talked about in maybe every sci-fi movie and television show that has to do with space in history, including Star Wars. That being said, we're going to guess that the Lightyear creators included the hyperspace drawings on the whiteboard behind the astronauts as they prepare for their mission as a direct reference to Star Wars. After all the other comparisons, how couldn't it be? Number 5. Destruction. Now let's head into Toy Story. We don't see Zurg at all in the first Toy Story, but we do get to hear a bit about his plan. In one of his very panicked states, Buzz explains to Woody at the gas station all about Emperor Zurg's master plan.
What? What are you talking about?
Zurg is supposedly building a secret weapon with so much power that it's able to destroy an entire planet. Sound familiar? That's because it almost sounds like Zurg is planning to build and unleash the Death Star.
Charming to the last.
Number 6. Sid's parodies. No one likes Sid in the Toy Story films. In fact, he might be more of a villain than Zurg ever is in the franchise, excluding in Lightyear, of course. So what better way to establish that than by paralleling him with Star Wars villain Grand Moff Tarkin? When we see Sid playing roughly with Woody, to put it lightly, it's very similar to a scene in A New Hope where Grand Moff Tarkin intimidates Princess Leia into revealing where the rebels are hiding.
Where are your rebel friends now?
Number 7. Sounds like Darth Vader. Toy Story's Buzz Lightyear is pretty dramatic if you hadn't noticed, which allowed the creators to have a little fun with his introduction, including maybe channeling a bit of their favorite films. If you listen to when Buzz first appears in the Toy Story films, he's breathing exactly like Darth Vader. Number 8. Lightsaber sound. Dory and Marlin getting attacked by the anglerfish in Nemo has to be in the top 10 Pixar scenes that spooked kids. The black screen, the scary-looking fish, just keep swimming, right? But of course, what better way to put an end to the heart-racing scene than by including the sound of a hero, also known as the sound of a lightsaber. When Marlin escapes the anglerfish, you can hear the effect mixed with other sound effects.
The mask! What mask?
Number 9. Nigel's line. This Star Wars reference in Finding Nemo is a little more subtle, but still kind of obvious. Nigel says the line,
"Oh, well, don't everybody fly off at once."
If you've watched A New Hope, you know this line is very similar to Han's infamous line,
"Don't everybody thank me at once."
Even their intonation is similar. Do you think it's a coincidence or done on purpose, like we do?
Right.
Number 10. Based on Darth Vader. Now heading back over to Toy Story 2. When we actually get our first glimpse of Buzz's arch-nemesis Zurg, you are probably instantly reminded of one of cinema's most popular villains, Darth Vader. Well, you're not wrong. Zurg's voice, appearance, and mannerisms are extremely similar to Darth Vader's. Creators have even admitted to drawing references from the Star Wars character. That's why in Lightyear they had to make Zurg more original so that he'd stand out as his own villain instead of a parody. Number 11. Buzz travels through. The way the scene in Toy Story 2 of Buzz traveling through a tunnel that closes behind him was directed very similarly to a scene in The Empire Strikes Back. From the angle the scene was shot at to the way the tunnel moves to cut off the scene is almost an exact replica. Number 12. Similar to Darth Vader's greeting. This next comparison wasn't even trying to be a hidden Easter egg. It's just a direct reference to the iconic Star Wars scene in A New Hope, where Darth Vader greets Obi-Wan and says,
"We meet again at last."
In Toy Story 2, when Zurg greets both video game and utility belt Buzz, he says almost the exact same line while he rises from the ground. Definitely not a coincidence.
So, we meet again, Buzz Lightyear, for the last time.
Number 13. Lightsaber sound effect. In Toy Story 2, there's a scene where Buzz walks up to a hologram of a battery and strokes it. What happens next couldn't have been predicted. The sound effect of the hologram is the same sound effect Star Wars uses for its lightsabers. Pixar creators really seem to idolize the lightsaber and its various sounds. Number 14. The same line. Yet again in Toy Story 2, the creators had Zurg act out an almost exact replica of arguably the most famous scene in the Star Wars franchise. The moment in Empire Strikes Back when Darth Vader tells Luke,
I am your father.
In Toy Story 2, Zurg parodies this scene with fake Buzz.
I am your father.
And the creators rolled with the humor by having fake Buzz run off with Zurg to spend time with his father.
Oh, you're a great dad. Yippee!
Number 15. Perimeter Droid. Remember this scene in Toy Story 2 when the robot pops out of the wall like a camera and Buzz blasts it? It's super similar to this moment in Return of the Jedi with the Perimeter Droid. The sound effects made when Buzz blasts it even sounds like the TIE Fighter laser. Number 16. Dash and the speeder bikes. Dash fighting and outrunning the Velocipods in The Incredibles is probably one of the most epic scenes of the film, except when Baby Jack-Jack gets his powers, of course. Could this scene be epic because it mirrors a scene from Return of the Jedi? This Velocipods chase looks very similar to the speeder bike chase that plays out in Star Wars. Number 17. Mirage versus a rebel soldier. We all wanted Mirage to end up not the villain. But alas, we can't always get what we want. What we did get, though, is a pretty epic showdown between her and Mr. Incredible. One while after he's been tortured, he holds her up while choking her. If you remember, Darth Vader does something similar to a rebel soldier in A New Hope. The angle and direction of the scene are almost identical. Number 18. Ghost Guides. You wouldn't think that there could be any similarities between Ratatouille, a film about a chef rat in Paris, and Star Wars, but that's where you're wrong. Pixar and Disney will stop at nothing to place Easter eggs from other franchises in films. In fact, this reference is a whole concept. Do you remember how Auguste Cousteau's ghost guides Remy? This is basically the same as how Obi-Wan's ghost guides Luke.
Let us see how much you know, huh?
Number 19. Star Wars premiere. Carl and Russell become the best of friends at the end of Up, despite still sometimes annoying each other.
Quick, Russell, give me some chocolate.
Why?
Just give it to me.
And of course, who else but your best friend would you take to a Star Wars premiere? In the credits of Up, we see a picture of Carl and Russell in front of a movie theater that says it's premiering Star Wars. Confirmed, Star Wars exists in the Up universe, guys. Number 20. Spirit of Adventure. Sticking on the Up Express, there's another moment that reminds us of the Star Wars franchise. Charles Muntz has a blimp that he called the Spirit of Adventure, which happens to look a lot like the Empire fleet ship. In his scene as well, the dogs parallel the Red 5 scene in A New Hope. Number 21. The Tauntaun. A Star Wars reference may have only made it into the Monsters, Inc. trailer, but creators made up for that by including a reference in the actual prequel of Monsters, Inc., Monsters University. Mike may not be the best scarer, we'll leave that up to Sully, but he does do the most studying, which means he remembers all the scare techniques, including one called the Tauntaun Grimace, a direct reference to the Tauntaun in Empire Strikes Back. Number 22. Miss Fritter's line. It took the Cars franchise 3 films to include a Star Wars reference, at least from what we've found. Have you discovered one in an earlier Cars film? Let us know. Anyway, Miss Fritter's line,
Your license plate's gonna look real nice in my collection!
is extremely similar to General Grievous's line in Revenge of the Sith.
Your lightsabers will make a fine addition to my collection.
Number 23. Pinball Machine. See, Pixar tones the Star Wars references way down in Toy Story 4. Nothing could compare to the amount of Darth Vader references we found in Toy Story 2. They definitely had some fun. In Toy Story 4, if you pay attention to this scene, you can spot an Obi-Wan and Ponda Baba action figure fighting inside the pinball machine. Number 24. Saving the Plant. Who knew that Wally saving the plant that Go4 tries to throw away in this scene would be so important not only for the film, but for this video? In this scene, Otto zaps the robot, like how the Emperor zapped Luke in Return of the Jedi. Number 25. The TV Spot Special. Monsters, Inc. creators didn't get their Star Wars reference into the main film and onto the big screen, but they still managed to slip it into the Monsters, Inc. TV Spot Special, almost like a trailer. In the scene, Mike and Sully are playing charades, and of course, to Sully's irritation, Mike just can't seem to guess right. And one of his wrong guesses happens to be Star Wars. Just another subtle way to add in a Disney Easter egg. Have you spotted any other Star Wars references in other Disney and Pixar films? Let us know in the comments section below. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching The Things Animated.